recall standing at our front door handing a pair of my father's torn working boots to my mother. He had told Mam that my dad had been injured, buried and crushed at the coalface and was unlikely to survive. He'd suffered serious crush injuries to his chest and torso, multiple fractures to his spine and lower limbs. Yet against the odds, he survived. His doctors agreed it was a miracle. I later learned that he'd saved the life of another miner's apprentice. He was a tough, gentle character who enjoyed a pint of ale and enthusing about the beautiful scenery that surrounded the valley, and reflecting on the abject poverty he witnessed during several years involved in the Burma campaign. He loved nature and people and was respectful of cultural differences. When he died, we honoured his wishes and returned his ashes atop the hillside where he played as a boy, overlooking his home and the pit that threatened to prematurely bury him.
He walked the hills of Gilfach, Goch, both day and night. He strode the valley in his hobnail boot, not a pretty sight. He listened to a chorus of nature's wondrous sound. He could even hear a skylark singing, was digging underground.
Colliers were subjected to incredulous life-threatening conditions, where thousands died from pit disasters and mine-related disease, long-term painful illness, which I wrote about in my book, A Small Red Valley. How strange, COVID, coronavirus, a pandemic, a killer, symptoms that reminded me of then, the only difference being it only affected a select minority of men. Lest we forget the women who supported their man, who deprived themselves during a striker's ban. The coal mine, after all, was the heart of the valley, when arteries stopped pumping and communities did rally. CPR was applied to restart that muscle. A fight to avoid death was a constant struggle. No one liked striking nor earning their bread. Families were suffering, moribund, half dead. Less food on the table caused everyone grief, except those mine owners who ate their roast beef. Derisory offers for better conditions turned down by the miners and union conveners. An army in revolt, historians would say, attacked by the system for demanding more pay. Outrageous, said Whitehall. What do they expect? More pay? Miners and their families, salt of the earth. It was not just about money, but what they were worth. Shame on those owners who were much more than able to share some of their wealth to put bread on the table. The park clock may not chime, and the hands not tell time, but the valley is timeless. No radio or wireless, just the whispering sounds of a cricket ball hit for six, and a try scored beneath the posts, and a visit to the workman's hall, matinee and evening flicks. Windmills and waterfalls, green meadows and all. No coal tips to mar the landscape. No smoking methane slag heaps or pollution on your hair. The colliers and their offspring once walked the hillside paths, simply to enjoy pure unadulterated Welsh air. Yes, for us oldies, nostalgia still prevails, recalling all those memories, tells us how much the land has changed. But what about the mining folk, whose families we recall? The colliers, the teachers, the chapels, social club secretaries, committees, welfare park, and all. Die young boys and girls. The tales are endless, numerous heroes and pitfalls, humorous above all else. That's what it means to be Welsh. So before attempting to pronounce Gilfach Goch, firstly ensure your throat is clean. Then socially distance at least 20 metres away. Do you hear? Otherwise, wear a face mask and whisper it in someone's shell-like ear. Only joking. So keep your distance. Fairness and respect was the mantra. Of course, Gilfach Goch was tough, and not all were deemed angels, and some were downright rough. Let's not forget the women folk, the backbone to the boys. When tempers flared in the street, you'd sense the antlers rut, followed by the women's chorus, tut, tut, tut. Grow up, man, the mams would say. I only hope the landowners will not forget the past, when people walk the hillsides along grassy heather paths. The views are spectacular, and the natural colour of red that flows from the Gilfach contributes to its unique name. Now pause for a moment, breathe in and exhale. Gilfach Goch, da iawn bach, a merch da iawn. Diolch, hyd neser byddwn yn cyfarfod eto. Thanks, until we meet again.